88% of experts agree this is the #1 red flag of all not to marry a guy.
He's a mama's boy.
Are you in a relationship with a mama's boy? Someone recently said, you need to accept that the mother comes first. And I thought, hell no.
On the controlling side, and she inserts herself into your plans, or if he has to do things for her instead of you when he's already committed to you and he actually does those things, or he lets her.
Young marriages in particular fail because of the interference of in-laws. If you're too young to make decisions on your own, if you have to ask your mom, if you gotta go run to
Make his mother respect you. She doesn't disrespect you because she's disrespectful. She disrespects you because your son or your man is not man enough to put his foot down. So if his mother comes first, then he should date his mom.
One of the biggest reasons I would never, ever date a mummy's boy is because clearly
I talked to my mama. My mama said this. My mama said that. Be like, oh yeah, I was thinking about giving you some pussy today. What your mama say about that? Because one thing a mama's boy loves more than his mama is some pussy.
Your son is not your man. Stop treating your son like he's your partner. He is not here to.
Those men who mama be in their life and they be like in their life, like their girlfriend in their life, don't talk to them. If his mama is calling his phone every day.
You're right, Mom. She does wear too much makeup. All right, bye. Have you ever thought about showing your bare, beautiful face more often? Thanks, Mom. I think I have a hot body too. I was talking to my mom.
If you come to this, if you meet somebody that tells you that, 9 out of 10 times, it's a lie. He's living with his parents, not the other way around.
Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Have you ever been on a date where everything seems perfect? He's kind, he's polite, he's successful. And then he mentions his mom. And then he mentions her again. And by the third date, you realize you aren't just dating him. You're dating his entire family dynamic. Today, we are talking about one of the most debated red flags in the dating world, the mama's boy. Now, before you jump in the comments, there is a huge difference between a man who respects his mother and a man who is emotionally enmeshed with her. One is a green flag, the other is a relationship killer. If you've ever felt like the third wheel in your own relationship, or if you're wondering if his close bond is actually a boundary issue, this video is for you. By the end of this, you'll know the 5 specific signs that he hasn't left the nest and what that means for your future together. Let's dive in.
Are you in a relationship with a mama's boy? Someone recently said, you need to accept that the mother comes first. And I thought, hell no. You need to stand your ground here. There can only be one woman in the house and it ain't mama. Of course, we want to be respectful. We don't want to undermine the role of mother. It's a very important role. But you need to explain to your partner that you're his person. And while you respect his attachment to his mom, he needs to be focused on forming an attachment to you so that you guys can form a happy, healthy, and close relationship.
Super defensive of your mother. Oh, well, she's all I've ever had. She raised me. Yeah. And if she wasn't unhealthily attached to you, she would want you to find happiness. She should want to have a healthy relationship with the woman that you choose to spend your life with. Your mother should not be fighting for your attention. I don't necessarily blame a lot of men for going along with this because they don't know. They grew up and they thought it was normal. But when you have a woman who loves you and she cares about you and they sit you down and they say, this is a problem, maybe listen to her.
If you are dating a mama's boy, my advice to you is leave right now. And the reason why I am telling you to leave is because you cannot compete with his mother, and he should not make you feel as if there is a competition. You cannot compete with the first titty that he has sucked. You cannot compete with the first vagina that he's ever felt. His body was pushed out of her. So if he doesn't know how to put her in her place, it should never be up to you. You should never feel like you have to address your man's mother. That is for him to do. And if he does not do that, he not only does not respect you, but he does not respect the relationship, and he refuses to make his mother respect you. She doesn't disrespect you because she's disrespectful. She disrespects you because your son or your man is not man enough to put his foot down. So if his mother comes first, then he should date his mom. I am True Furts.
Where I
am never going to compete with your mom. So if I'm dating a person or if I'm in a relationship with a person, there should be no competition with your mom. Your mom is in a separate category. She is priority in and of itself. However, once you have a partner, your partner also takes priority as well, right? And so if I feel like you're being a little too dependent or not as self-sufficient as I would want you to be, where you're relying on your mom to cook, to clean, to do laundry, etc., I just don't think that's a good sign, because that's foreshadowing how it can potentially carry over into our relationship. And I'm not here to be your maid. I'm here to be your equal. And so that just doesn't sit right with me.
So y'all know I be speaking facts, so let's talk about it. Those men who mama be in their life and they be like in their life, like their girlfriend in their life, don't talk to them. If his mama is calling his phone every day to see what he is doing and he's a grown man, red flag. If his mama is calling his phone and asking him how does she look when she put on a new outfit or got a new hairstyle, red flag. If his mama always giving some type of advice to him on his relationship and how he should be doing things, but her relationships ain't really going as well, red flag. If his mama has been married more than one time, more than two times, more than three times, red flag. If his mama always found a way to bail him out of a situation that he put himself in because he was still being a child, and she gonna make sure that she gonna be the first one to captain save the hoe, red flag. And if his mama, one of them mamas that's in the church heavy, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus, but her son ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing, and he probably living the worst out here, but she still love her son, and she gonna pray for him, and since she try to blame it on you instead of it being her son's fault, super red flag. I'm just saying, these be the people you gotta watch out for. These are the mama's boys that be red flags, where their mamas don't see nothing wrong with their behavior, and they be the deadbeat dads. And they do what they want to do, because the mama can't do too much. All I can do is pray for them. Honey, I don't know where your prayers is going, but baby, you need to try that again.
Red flag, he or she's not willing to leave her mama or her daddy. They have to ask their mom or ask their dad about every little decision, or they can't do things with you because they're all tied up in their family situation. It does not bode well. I cannot tell you the number of people who, young marriages in particular, fail because of the interference of in-laws. If you're too young to make decisions on your own, if you have to ask your mom, if you got to go run tell your dad, then you're not ready to get.
Dating flags number 3. Ladies, beware of the man that tells you that he lives with his parents because he helps them financially and or physically. He will also tell you that the house is his, he's on title, and God only knows what else he's going to tell you. That's hardly ever the truth. Just know that he lives there for the benefits. The benefits are no rent, his laundry's still getting done, he's still getting fed. This is where the mama thing comes in, by the way. Mama's boys love to still live at home in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and later, because they realize no other woman is going to sit there and baby his ass the way his mama does, okay? So if you come to this, if you meet somebody that tells you that, 9 out of 10 times, it's a lie. He's living with his parents, not the other way around.
Give you a bunch of early identifiers that tell you you have come across a mama's boy. He has a controlling mom, and he cannot say no to her, or he doesn't have clear boundaries. A clear identifier is if he lost his virginity late in life. He had an absent father, either emotionally unavailable or physically absent. He leaned on him to fulfill her needs. It's this underlying belief that he has to save his mom. If he is mom's little buddy, feels a sense of duty or responsibility to take care of his mom. This is different than a healthy man's wanting to take care of or feeling a lot of pride about taking care of his mom. To discern the origins of where this sense of responsibility is coming from. Does it feel healthy, or does it feel a little toxic? If his mom is more on the controlling side and she inserts herself into your plans, or if he has to do things for her instead of you when he's already committed to you and he actually does those things, or he lets her come in, clear indication that he is a mama's boy.
I'm gonna have to go out for a while. Hey Mom, yeah, I mean, we were gonna go on a romantic date to celebrate our anniversary, but yeah, you could come too, we'd love that. All right, bye. There was nothing I could do. Hey, Ma, yeah, try not to put any of those ingredients in dinner tonight. She's been having a little diarrhea issue, and if you could, don't talk about her acne breakout that she's had as well. Yeah, you're right. You know what? Yeah, you can talk about whatever you want. Okay, bye. I had to tell her. Hey, Ma, thanks for being on my side. I know I'm not a bad boyfriend for just cheating on her only 2 times and she keeps holding it over my head. Yeah, all right, bye. You should apologize to me.
Sign number 1, the information leak. A healthy man keeps the private details of your relationship private. A mama's boy? He has a hotline to his mother. If you have an argument at 2 p.m., she knows about it by 2:15 p.m. If he's telling her your secrets, your financial struggles, or your intimate business, he's showing you that his primary loyalty is still to her, not to the team you're trying to build. Sign number 2, the comparison game.
Speech.
This is the my mom does it better syndrome. Whether it's how she cooks, how she cleans, or how she handles stress, he uses her as the gold standard that you can never quite reach. You aren't his partner. You're a candidate for the mom 2.0 position. Sign number 3,
I've always had this thing
no boundaries,
where
no peace.
Does
she have a
am
key
never
to
going to
his place
compete
and use
with
it unannounced?
your mom.
Does he
So if
cancel
I'm
your date
dating,
night because she has a minor emergency, like she can't find the TV remote? If he can't say no to her without feeling crushing guilt, he will never be able to prioritize you. Sign number 4, the financial leash. If she's still paying his phone bill, managing his bank account, or gifting him money with strings attached at 30 years old, he isn't an independent adult. Financial dependence is one of the easiest ways for a parent to control a relationship from the outside. Sign number 5, she is the tiebreaker.
Mama's boy.
In a healthy
Run
relationship,
away, girls. Like,
big decisions
no
are made
way.
by the
We're
two
already in
people
our
in the
20s,
relationship.
right?
But
Like
with a mama's
mid-20s.
boy,
I think
there's
we
always
should
a third vote.
have
If he
the
has to call her
ability,
to check before
to
buying
take
a
care of
car,
ourselves,
picking a
be
vacation
responsible
spot,
of
or
all the
moving in
actions
together,
that we do.
You aren't the co-pilot.
And
You're a
moms, of
passenger.
course, like all
Y'all be tripping saying the mama's boys is the hardest men to deal with because they're the easiest men to deal with. All you gotta do is become that nigga mama, okay? Not in like a weird way, but like mama's boys need somebody to control them, tell them what to do, where to be at, what time to be there. All you gotta do is tell his mama it's a new sheriff in town, bitch. He gonna listen to what I say. And you just gotta give him tasks and little things to do. And when he say, I talked to my mama said this, my mama said that. Be like, oh yeah, I was thinking about giving you some pussy today. What your mama say about that? Because one thing a mama's boy love more than his mama is some pussy. I don't know what it is, but they love some coochie. So all you gotta do, become that nigga mama. You're gonna get a lot of pushback from his mama though. Especially if she ain't married, she ain't got her own man. Cause sometimes they be kinky with it, okay? They think the son is their man, but you gotta let her know. No, baby. This is my man. I'm his mama now, bitch. Enough of that. Alright? You need to go in there and break that bond up. It was already supposed to be broken up. Because once a man leaves his home, he's supposed to go out and create his own home. She ain't supposed to bring her ass to his house too. So yeah, go through there. Go ahead and push that relationship right apart. They're not supposed to be that close anyway. You just hastening the process, okay? They supposed to been cut the cord, okay? And mind you, I got 2 boys, so I wouldn't tell y'all no lies. Some bitches be kinky though. I don't have that type of relationship with my sons, because once they get a girlfriend, hey girl, I hope she know how to do hair and I hope she know how to do nails. That's all I want from my daughter-in-law. What the fuck? Don't beat on my kids and know how to do some type of service so we can have a good time.
Day of the wedding, Linda adds readings, songs, like these are just family traditions. She gives a long speech about Ben, how she raised him, how she loved him, how proud she is of him, and how the bride, Sarah, she barely mentioned her name, needs to, step into her role now and take really good care of Ben because he deserves it. Like Sarah literally felt like she was a guest at her own wedding. On her honeymoon, she finally opened up to Ben and she was just crying and she was like, I can't believe this. I can't believe, like, it didn't even feel like our day. And Ben was just like, she loves us. She was just trying to make it special. Like, she'll back down now. So he just kind of made excuses on the honeymoon. He didn't really have her back, didn't validate Sarah's feelings, just excused his mom's behavior. After the honeymoon, Linda's behavior got worse. There was now daily interference. She would call Ben every morning, every night. If he missed a call, she would keep on calling. She started popping over. She would stay for hours. She moved things in the kitchen. She took Ben's attention from Sarah. Like, Sarah literally felt like she was a stranger in her own home. Then started the constant criticism dressed up as help. Ooh, Sarah, this soup, it's a little bland. Like, let me show you how I make it. But there was some push and pull that kept everything alive. Like, sometimes Linda was sweet again. She would bring gifts. She would praise Sarah, make Sarah feel like the apple of her eye again. And this mix of cuts and kindness is what kept Sarah hoping that the warm Linda would return. Sarah's response, she just tried harder. She made more meals. She cleaned, the house more. She would ask for Linda's recipes. She would do regular check-ins, but nothing was good enough. It never felt like Linda was going to see Sarah as enough for Ben, which, if you remember, feeling like she's not enough is an old wound for Sarah. Her emotional state, she started to doubt herself. Maybe she wasn't a good wife. Maybe she was selfish for wanting time with her husband. She felt like she was failing at the most important part of her life so far.
All right, y'all. So the other day I came across this TikToker's video where he was saying he can't be with nobody that's entirely too close to their family. And I absolutely fucking agree. I would never take a motherfucker serious that's entirely too close to their family, especially the motherfucking parents. And it's not out of a jealousy thing, because I'm attached to my mom to a certain extent, you feel me? But I'm talking about the motherfuckers that's so close to their mama and their daddy and shit that they're attached at the fucking hip, still on the titty. These motherfuckers are dependent upon them. They can't go on and live their fucking life because they feel like they still need their fucking parents. Some shit hit the fucking fan, they running and telling all of y'all fucking business. And I don't like shit like that, because as soon as we make the fuck up, them motherfuckers not gonna make up with me. They're not gonna forgive me like you forgave me. But because you done ran to them, because you're so attached to them, you done painted this fucking picture of me. Then you're gonna be mad when I want to go around the motherfuckers, because I know they have this ill feeling toward me of some shit you should have never fucking told. So I absolutely fucking agree. They are entirely too close to their family. It's a fuck no for me. And especially if they got some fucking siblings and y'all close like that, you telling all y'all fucking business, all your relationship business, bitch, no. And again, it's not a jealousy thing. It's just they're never going to put you fucking first. They're never going to put you first, because they're going to always have these motherfucking family and friends in their motherfucking trust.
Your son is not your man. Stop treating your son like he's your partner. He is not here to fill the void that man left in you. If there's any issues that you need to resolve in your soul as a woman, not as a mother, you need to work on them, because later on in life that man is gonna grow and he's gonna be causing a lot of issues with his little mommy drama because of you into his family and relationships.
One of the biggest reasons that I would never, ever, ever get involved with a mummy's boy is simply because I want a man, not a boy. There's a reason why society doesn't say mummy's man. Society says mummy's boy. Mummy's boy. It's boys who have not realized that they need and have to have an identity outside of their parents. It's boys that do not think for themselves. It's boys who are unable to have a backbone, but it's men who have a backbone. It's men who can think for themselves. It's men who have an identity and a life outside of their mother. And that's the biggest reason. I'm not interested in a boy. I want a man.
One of the biggest reasons I would never, ever, 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 ever date a mummy's boy is because clearly he has no boundaries with his mother, and his mother loves that dynamic because she has created a mummy's boy and he is in this cycle with her, right? So it's very telling for how she probably, his mother, would want the dynamic with me dating her son. She would want a dynamic with me where there is no boundaries, because with her son there's no boundaries, and it's perfectly fine in her eyes and in his eyes too. And that is something that I will never tolerate. You really think I'm going to live my life and not have boundaries with my partner's mother? I don't think so. And that is the biggest reason why I would never date a mummy's boy.
Never ever date a mummy's boy. Somebody messaged me and told me that she's been in a relationship with her man for about 2 years now, and he is such a mummy's boy to the point that it is ruining her relationship. This man's mum does absolutely everything for him, from cooking, cleaning, planning his meals, changing his bed sheets, doing all his laundry, till planning what outfit he's gonna wear the next day, also telling him where to go, what not to do, what to do with his girlfriend, what not to do, when he can see his girlfriend. Like, this mum is literally controlling this man's life, and he is happily letting her do it. I don't know which culture this man is from, but it got me thinking. I'm half Turkish Cypriot and half Pakistani, and I have seen not all of them, but so many Asian men and so many Turkish men are such big mummy's boys. I do believe it hugely is upon the culture and the way that these guys were raised, literally able to get away with anything. You know, their mums always picking up after them, you know, giving excuses for them. And meanwhile, the girls are there to be cleaning, you know, cooking, cleaning, taking over the house chores, can barely get away with anything. Like, there is a massive contrast. At the end of the day, when you're in a relationship with somebody, it is between you and that person. Your business is between you and your partner. There should be nobody, no second party person, no friends, no family interjecting in your relationship, making decisions in your relationship, when it should only be between you and your partner. And let's say even if your mother-in-law takes a step back, right? But then your partner is going to then expect you psychologically to play the role of his mum, since his mum has always been picking up after him, going to be expecting you to cook, to clean, and to basically be your maid, when at the end of the day, you're not his maid, you're his equal. Don't get me wrong, respect your mum, treasure your mum. You know, your mum has sacrificed so much for you, but there is a fine line between your partner and your mum. There are whole different types of relationships. So if you're dating somebody and you tell him time and time again and he just doesn't get it, and he thinks you're the crazy one and you're just being dramatic, dump him, throw him in the bin. It is not worth it. It's not worth a lifetime of stress and hassle. Dump him and leave him to date his mom.
Listen, there's a lot of red flags in men to look out for. Trust me, I know. There's the obvious ones. Following a lot of girls on Instagram, liking everybody's pictures, out of the club all weekend. It's giving fuckboy. Those are the obvious ones. But the major red flag that none of us talk about or speak on is when a man says, I don't know how to cook. I can't even cook an egg. That's not a flex. Weird flex, but okay. You telling me that you don't know how to cook, not even an egg, is you telling me that your mother took care of you until the ripe age of 35 and she still is. That is not a flex. You are a child. You are a fetus. All these bitches is my sons. That's not a flex. And if a man tells you that, run away. Run for the hills. You heard it from your sister. You heard it from your sister first. Trust my words. I don't tell a lie when it comes to men.
I don't think a lot of men realize that their mother is in love with them. Fellas, it's not normal for your mother to be hostile to your girlfriend or wife. Unwarranted, of course. If she's a piece of shit, she's a piece of shit. And if she is, why are you with her? But if you hear your own mother saying, oh, she's taking you away from me. Oh, you always side with her instead of me. It's giving side piece behavior. And I bring this up, a lot of men are like, no woman's ever gonna love me like my mama does. They're not supposed to. Maternal love is supposed to be different from romantic love. A lot of times this happens either from single mothers or women who are married to absolute pieces of crap, and they latch onto their sons for the emotional needs that their husbands don't give them. And when they finally come across a woman who's willing to bring it up and be like, that's odd. You dudes get super defensive of your mother. Oh, well, she's all I've ever had. She raised me. Yeah. And if she wasn't unhealthily attached to you, she would want you to find happiness. She should want to have a healthy relationship with the woman that you choose to spend your life with. Your mother should not be fighting for your attention. I don't necessarily blame a lot of men for going along with this because they don't know. They grew up and they thought it was normal. But when you have a woman who loves you and she cares about you and they sit you down and they say, this is a problem, maybe listen to her.
Ladies, if you're wondering if he's a mama's boy, let me save you some time. Here are the signs. Number 1, he runs every decision by his mom. Babe, I gotta check with my mom first. Why? You're not dating his mother, you're dating him. If she has to approve everything, he's not ready for a real relationship. Number 2, she's his number 1 priority, not you. If he cancels plans to help her with every little thing, you will always be in second place. 3, he expects you to be like his mom. My mom does it this way. My mom cooks it like this. Okay, well then go date your mom, sir. 4, she controls his life. If she tells him where to live, what kind of jobs to take, and what he wears, you're not dating a man, you're dating her puppet. Ooh. And number 5, he can't stand up to her. If she disrespects you, crosses boundaries, and he just shrugs, that's not a man. That's her baby boy. Listen, if you see these signs, run. A man should definitely love his mom, but he should know how to be his own person. Now, if you know anybody that needs to hear this, tag them. And have you ever dated a mama's boy? And if you have, let us know down in the comment section below.
One of the biggest reasons that I would never, ever, ever get involved with a mummy's boy is simply because I want a man, not a boy. There's a reason why society doesn't say mummy's man. Society says mummy's boy. Mummy's boy. It's boys who have not realized that they need and have to have an identity outside of their parents. It's boys that do not think for themselves. It's boys who are unable to have a backbone, but it's men who have a backbone. It's men who can think for themselves. It's men who have an identity and a life outside of their mother. And that's the biggest reason. I'm not interested in a boy. I want a man.
Ladies, if a man tells you he's a mama's boy, you might want to take off running, right? Because sometimes that is a red flag in disguise. And I'm about to tell you why. When I first met my ex-husband, he told me he was a mama's boy, right? And back then and even today, you know, we equate that to a man that knows how to treat a woman, right? Because if a man knows how to treat his mama good, right, that essentially means he's going to treat you good, right? But no, it could not have been further from that. Later on, all it taught me was that he indeed was a boy, right? And that he could not be a man for himself. I also learned that his mama was his first wife, right? In every which way but physically. Every single time me and this man got into an argument, he would want to go put his mama in it, right? Like, he would like, let's go get my mama's opinion. We would literally all three sit down and, you know, he would tell her what's going on and she would give us feedback and stuff. I'm talking about he tried his best to keep this woman in our business, right? And at first I let it slide because I respected her at first, you know what I'm saying? And she was wise in her own way. But later I realized that shit is weird. I realized it was extremely weird. And it got to the point where I even had to tell her, like, no, ma'am. Our business is our business, and I don't feel comfortable putting you in that. You know what I'm saying? And I realized she shouldn't have felt comfortable being in our business as much as she was anyways. Everything I did, this man felt the need to compare it to his mama, right? If I decided to cook chicken, he's telling me how his mama would have cooked it, how she would have never cooked it. If I decided to put a plant in the corner, he wants to call his mama and see how she feels about it. Every decision he made, he would literally, y'all, call his mama to see if she approved of it. I remember he started working his state job, right? So he's sitting down, putting me and his son's information on his insurance, right? And he goes, okay, next my mama. So he's calling his mama, and I'm just looking at him the whole time while he's doing this. Because it wasn't even necessarily that I had a problem with her being on his insurance. It was just the fact that he did it without even thinking to ask me, if that makes sense, right? Like, it was just natural for him to consider putting her on there. And I just remember sitting there looking at him like, this is deep, right? But it gets deeper. This man had literally got our house right beside his mama's house. And it's so funny now that I'm looking back at things and how I didn't find that weird then. Like, but no, I'm talking about her house was literally within walking distance of ours. And anytime we would get into an argument, he would go over there. I'm talking about to 6 o'clock in the morning, y'all. And then it clicked at me. This is not just a mama's boy situation. This is emotional incest. When a parent uses their child as an emotional partner instead of letting them be their own personal. And in a way, I think they kind of used each other in that way. My ex-husband's dad passed away when he was like a baby, right? So his mom ends up getting remarried. She would literally have him go through her husband's phone because he had a cheating problem, right? She would literally have my ex-husband go through his phone and put a tracking device in there, right? Would literally emotionally spill to my ex-husband about her feelings, right? And about this man cheating on her. I remember when he did first start working the state job, she literally took most of his paycheck, controlled his life, and in a way kind of filled his head with her own emotional mess. He never learned how to be a man because of his emotional tie to his mama. So the next time a man tells you he's a mama's boy, ask yourself, does he respect his mama or does he belong to her? Because one means he's grounded, the other one means you'll end up fighting for a spot that never belonged to you in the first place.
The biggest red flags you should see in your current boyfriend. And yes, your current boyfriend, because I know that there are some girlies out there that have given their man way too many chances and they're still in the relationship. Starting off for number one, he talks bad about his ex-girlfriends. For example, if you're asking your current boyfriend about like his ex-girlfriends, because I feel like everybody does that in a relationship, he kind of responds saying that, oh, they're crazy, like they're delusional, they're psychotic. Kind of just throw all these random negative stuff and it's just like, whoa, like where did this even come from? He would start saying bad things about the girl for no reason when the relationship ended for no reason. Or this is a big one, if they like look at you and they're like, oh, like I never liked my ex-girlfriend anyway, like we just dated because I was bored. Like, whoa, like what makes you think that the fact that you're dating me right now makes me not think that you're probably doing the same thing to me right now? That is just like the biggest red flag, like especially if they're talking bad about their ex-girlfriend. If he did this to another person, he's probably going to end up doing it to you at the end of the day. But number two is if he doesn't take pictures of you or document like your special moments. Taking pictures is so different than posting them, because I know that some guys are not good on social media, which I completely understand, but if they're not like taking a single picture of you, I think that's weird. Like, I don't even care if you don't even post that stuff if you're not good on social media, but at least like document some moments, you know what I mean? Like, it is so cute when you're in a relationship and like your boyfriend just like starts taking like random cute candidates of you. It's like, oh my god. And I don't even know if you would call this a love language, but I just feel like it's like a cute act of kindness. This is another story. If you do have a boyfriend that is super active on social media and is constantly posting and is never posting you, then that is obviously the biggest red flag. Like literally, girl, like just run while you're at it. Next one, which is so important, is number three, when he ignores your text because he says he's busy. So why I feel like this one is so important is because even if your man has work or like he's in school or something, like the most he can do is let you know beforehand that he's not going to be on his phone. But if you know he's at work and he just didn't let you know, or if he's at school and he didn't let you know that he's not going to be on your phone, then I feel like that is super concerning, especially if it happens more than once. If it happens all the time, then obviously he doesn't want to talk to you. Big red flag too is when he says he's busy, but you see his location like going around, like he's going here, he's going here, he's going here, and he's still not answering. Because if you're able to drive and move from place to place and still not respond to my text, then obviously you have no interest in talking to me whatsoever. Tell your significant other too that your phone is about to die, because obviously your messages aren't going to deliver if you have a dead phone. Going out the whole entire night and you just did not let me know your phone is dead, I'm going to automatically assume that you're cheating on me. Basically, if your boyfriend does any of these, I highly suggest you to run. You can either run or you can either talk it out with him and hope he changes, but if not, girl, then he is not worth your time at all. Guys, I'm gonna go finish getting ready, but I love you so much and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Here's the hard truth. You cannot fix a mama's boy. He has to want to set those boundaries himself. If you bring these concerns up and he gets defensive or calls you crazy, that is your answer. You deserve to be the leading lady in your partner's life, not the supporting actress to his mother. But I want to hear from you. Have you ever dated a guy who was a little too close to home? What was the moment you realized it was a red flag? Drop your stories in the comments below. I read as many as I can. If this video helped you clarify some things, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into dating psychology. I'll see you in the next one.